Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. And it's Thursday, and I'm a little bit early today. I usually do a Thursday night podcast, but this week, I guess, one of them is injured and her house is flooding, so she's got other priorities right now. And the other one forgot that they had a wedding this week, so they're on their way to a wedding. So kind of a no-brainer as to what's going on. So I figured, why not just go ahead and run it a little bit earlier today and get the preview stuff talked about and do a live draw as well. Pop Culture's in the house. Hey, Raven. Hey, Pop. Good to see you. Pop just sent me some cool photos. Wish I could share them on my phone, but it doesn't quite work too easily. He sent me some photos about some cool artwork that he had come across years ago. Some Mort Walker Beetle Baileys and original art and some ElfQuest prints and stuff like that that were really cool. In the meantime, if I can get this thing to do what it's supposed to do, I got to give my notice. Episode Quoth Raven is intended for ages 16 up, and sometimes we might feature kid-friendly material, but the context of the episode is to address adults and inform them of said content in service of their youth. In other words, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, librarians, etc. Again, we're rated TV 16 and up. Okay. Now, we're talking about previews this week. We'll start with the Marvel Previews catalog first. I've got my notes. But ironically, DC did put in a catalog apparently this month, or at least it was in with my Previews catalog. I'll explain that in a little bit. And then here's the big monster itself. But we'll start with Marvel. Now, one thing I noticed about this month's edition is that there are about 10 or 14 different, the last story of the series, or it's the last arc that this writer's going to be doing, and then they're going to be moving on to another title, or, it's like, you're almost trying, it's the end of the character, we're going to kill off the character. It's like, it's everything is like over and over the same theme. And I don't know if this is something that is just coincidental, or I just noticed that with it being the July catalog, this is the stuff that comes out in September, which is the beginning of the last quarter, so to speak. So are they just like rotating it out and preparing it for like new books in January, finishing up these arcs? I'm not sure, but it was amusing. Examples: Death of Doctor Strange. The X-Men Inferno. The culmination of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men begins here. All this stuff you've been reading about Jonathan Hickman, the final story arc is here. Amazing Spider-Man finale. This is the last of Nick Spencer's run. It's like every single thing in here is like that. It's just like, really? This is weird, but okay. So that was the first thing I noticed. But that also gave me a notion of, I don't know, mixed feelings of sarcasm and hope. Because if they're going to end all these people's runs, does that mean they're going to get some real writers to fix this and actually have something I might want to read for a change? Maybe. Let's hope. Marvel's not that smart. Anyway, one thing I did notice that might be of some interest to the kids out there, if I can find it. Let's see, there we are. Page 26, Marvel Tales #1. That is a reprint collection of a classic storyline that was originally done in the 80s for Marvel Fanfare by Chris Claremont and Michael Golden. Has Kazar and the X-Men in the Savage Land. And Spider-Man's in there too, if I remember correctly. And that would be worth your time to invest in. So that I thought I'd make mention of that. I thought it was kind of interesting. There was a Defenders #2. I guess there's a new Defenders series coming out. I must have missed last month's. Let's see where that is. It's a 5-issue miniseries. And it's interesting since Doctor Strange is the one who forms this team, but it's the death of Doctor Strange and the others in the book, so I don't know what's going on. But it's a 5-issue miniseries, and it's got the Mother of Galactus in it. So I thought, okay, that might be of some unique interest to some people. It's like, that was kind of possibility to look at. I was reading the next page as well, the Kang the Conqueror miniseries, also a 5-issue miniseries. Apparently, Kang meets himself as what's the word? Pharaoh of Egypt or whatever, and it kind of screws him up. I thought, okay, that's different. Or at least they're trying. I'm going to give Marvel credit for where it's due when they try, at least, even if I'm not sold on it. At least they're trying. Carrie Andrews is writing and drawing Amazing Fantasy. I do like the Frazetta homage cover here, which is available as a separate poster, but $9 is a bit much for a poster, I think. I don't know. It is and it isn't. I mean, let's face it, a lot of prints we charge $10, $15 at shows, so I guess it really isn't. It just, off the top of my head, I was like, well, is $9 really something for a mass-produced poster? It's going to be like thousands and thousands of prints. I would think it should be more like $6, but it is what it is. Let's see, what else did I notice? Oh, they want to know who's going to take Doctor Strange's place once he's dead. And I'm thinking, well, there's two options. His ex-girlfriend, Clea, I guess it's his ex, I don't know, or Scarlet Witch would be the top two choices, I would think. And we've already done those stories. Well, technically, I know they did Clea as Doctor Strange because they did it in like House of X with Alex Ross. And I know that I wrote What If Scarlet Witch was the Sorcerer Supreme for Marvel back in the 90s, but it was never released. So who knows? Maybe they're dragging out my old stuff and recycling it again. It's not like that's the first time they've done that. Oh, gotta find that one. Way too many X books, and way too many Spider-Man books, of course. This is the new costume for Miles Morales Spider-Man, as if it wasn't dorky enough looking when we had Ben Reilly running around in the sweatsuit hoodie. Now we've got Miles running around in a full tracksuit with shoes. What was wrong with his original costume? Can anybody tell me? I thought the black with the red was fine. Now we've got him in a tracksuit. I mean, it's like, what is this? This is regression, not progression. Paper don't want to fold over, of course. There are also a few hardcovers and omnibus editions in the back of the catalog that might be of interest to some people. They're a little bit too much for my budget, but they're also probably cheaper than having to buy the trade collections or as singles. Pop culture says that's not what we see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's what is it? And yeah, it's like I said, it's worse than the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider suit. At least, the Scarlet Spider, it was actual superhero suit with just a hoodie over it, but this is the hoodie, and I'm going to wear track pants, and I'm going to wear, Air Jordans with no shoestrings or something. I don't know. Oof. I guess I know why they did it, because it costs so much for the cosplayers to dress up. They figured, well, if we get them, they can buy a red tracksuit, spray paint it black, and get some high tops, and then they can cosplay the character much easier. That's why they did it. Mark Andrew Smith says, I saw a new outfit where it became Captain America. Okay, I don't know if I saw that one, but I didn't. I missed it. I don't know if that was in here or not, but I missed that one. But like I said, they do have some nice stuff in the back as far as the collections. But like I said, they're a little expensive. I mean, I get it. It's 800 pages for like the original Conan collections, Volume 7, but it's like 700 pages, but $125 is a little bit high. In my opinion, even if it is that many pages. Thunderbolts hardcover, $125. Yeah, it's almost 1,200 pages, so that one I can almost see. But it's still it's high, I think, for the price point. Trying to find the other ones that really I was like, huh? More of the classic stuff if I can find it, because this is not the classic. This is all the modern. Where's the classics at? Those are the Epic collections. The Epic collections aren't too bad. Those are $40 with their soft covers. $30 to $40, and those aren't too bad for what you get. And that's the classic 80s stuff. If you got a Tomb of Dracula trade paperback for $45, it's 500 pages. That's not bad. Claremont's X-Men for $40 for, I don't know, 500 pages isn't bad. That's worth your money, But like, here we go. They slap a modern day cover on Thor, and this is the actual Kirby Lee Thor stuff, and the Kirby Lee Hulk, and they slap modern covers on them with modern artists and charge you $100, and it's like, I don't see that. Just give me the right cover, and make it affordable. I guess is the way I look at it. Or here's a hardcover of the Marvel 2-in-1 Thing and Warlock, and this is Volume 6. You might not remember, but not that long ago, I just did the omnibuses that were trade paperbacks, and I got them for $10. Now, granted, they were $20 on the cover, $19.99. I got them for $10. If I get them at half off at my comic book store because they can't sell them at $20, what do you think they're going to do with a hardcover at $75, $100? It's not going to happen. So I think Marvel needs to reassess their price range on some of this stuff. That's just my opinion on that. That's pretty much what I saw on Marvel. Again, speculation sales. Yeah, well, probably for speculation as well too. But like I said, I think it's just as much the cosplayers. It's more affordable than dress up in a tracksuit. Well, let's get to DC then. And this is the new DC Connect catalog. Now, this was inside my previous catalog, so my immediate thought was, did I miss something? Did DC come back to Diamond? Right? Did I miss the 411? And apparently I didn't, because everything on the back is still through Lunar distribution where they've been going through. So I guess my retailers was just being nice and put it all in one so that I wouldn't forget to order my DC books, which is nice of them. First thought, the usual, too many Bat books. And I don't care about any of it, unfortunately. Don't care about the Fear State storyline. We've seen this kind of concept before. The only new hiccup, so to speak, is there's an anti-Oracle character that's somehow broken into Oracle's firewalls and into her stuff and is spreading misinformation through their systems, and that's affecting their ability to be an effective fighting force. um, I don't think that's really anything more than a secondary plot, though. So I don't know what the point of that was. Um, it is what it is. I guess there's going to be a new Batman again. I guess it's not Lucas Fox, but another Fox. That's going to be the new Fox, Jace Fox, I think his name is. Didn't really say, but doesn't matter. I'm going through this, and it's like half the catalog that they've got here. All I'm flipping through right now, page after page of Batman. I get to page 16 out of a 32-page catalog before I get to something that's not Batman. And that's a Deathstroke Incorporated, which I guess involves him working with other characters now to do something. And okay. They got a 6-issue miniseries, new Aquaman, which is basically Aqualad, becoming Aquaman, I guess. I don't know what happened to Arthur Curry. Maybe he died. I don't know. Don't care. Apparently, I don't know if this one's. I'm assuming this is the Black Manta son that is becoming the one that's I can't remember what his actual name used to be in the Young Justice books, but not Tempest, but something else. But anyway, it was Aqualad, I guess, but I don't know. But it seems like it's that character, and it looks okay. I might check it out when it comes out, but I'm not going to pre-order it. Conversely, they're giving you a Black Manta miniseries to go along with it, where Black Manta is the protagonist, which, okay, whatever. They're doing the Harley Quinn animated series #1 as well. And apparently this is based off of the animated series that's on HBO or Netflix or wherever, and I've never seen it, so I don't have an opinion on it as far as that goes. Apparently, though, it's kind of a Thelma and Louise storyline. Poison Ivy was going to marry Kite Man or something, and Harley broke it up, and now they're out on the road doing whatever they're doing. Whatever. Apparently, there's going to be a King Shark miniseries, or at least a one-shot. It's a miniseries, 6 issues. I don't know. And it doesn't have anything to do with Black Manta or Aqualad. It's his own separate thing. And I'm kind of like, shouldn't this character be connected to those two in a way? But, who am I? Far Sector, I've been reviewing that whole series. I've obviously given it a lot of praise. The trade collection is available finally, and it is going to be $30 for 12 issues of material plus additional content. Given that the book was $4.99 times 12, you're making it's a good price for the trade collection. So I recommend that. They have Milestone Compendium number 1, which collects about 50 issues worth of Milestone from the 90s. That's $60 for over 1,300 pages. Not bad when you think about it. At the same time, I could probably find most of these Milestone books in quarter boxes at conventions. So, I guess if you want to go hunt the old Milestone, you might be able to get the whole thing yourself, but much cheaper. I don't know. But, supposedly this does collect story arcs and titles that have never been collected before from DC. So if you want the quick and easy purchase, that's possibly worth your time. Books I'm actually going to get. Batman The Adventures Continue Season 2, number 4. The whole last half of the back of the book is like this. Instead of full page ads, they just... kind of interesting. And I find it funny that they put Batman The Adventures Continue back here instead of up front with the rest of the Batman books. But, they probably do that because, well, they don't want you to actually know what Batman that doesn't suck looks like. Let's see. Batman and Superman are having their final issue, number 22, apparently. I'm going to get Green Lantern number 6 because I've been getting that series. It's not too bad with Jeffrey Thorne writing. And thankfully, the last issue of Strange Adventures is available. So that series is going to be concluded. And all I can say is thank goodness for that. Done with that series, finally. But that is pretty much all I really noticed. Maybe the Man-Bat series collection. I would definitely recommend it if Kyle House is doing more than just the cover. I don't know if they're going to get you're going to get all the Kyle Holtz covers or just the main one on the cover from that they're showing there. But hard to see it, I know, because they do it so small. But I wish Kyle had been the artist on it and as a whole, much better purchase. But yeah. And, of course, the back end of the book is more Suicide Squad ads with the new movie. Oh, there was something else that I didn't, not in that DC book I missed. There's a Suicide Squad in the back. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I thought it might be cute. Right next to the Strange Adventures, actually. Ambush Bug is going to be in Suicide Squad, and I thought that was a cool-looking cover. So if you're into Ambush Bug, you might want to pre-order that one. I'm probably going to at least take a look at it for the cover when it comes in the store. That's pretty much DC. Now we got the big monster. Image, page 46. Possibility of Frontiersman. This is about a superhero who's gone into retirement. He's an ecological type superhero, and he has to be brought out of retirement by a secretive environmentalist group. And of course, when he becomes a spokesman for that environmentalist group, things take a turn for the worst. uh, the artwork is kind of cool looking. I mean, whoops, there we go. It's not bad. Nice illustrative work for the forest there. And he's fighting a robot. It's been looking for him and tracking him down. But overall, looks potentially interesting. So I'm going to probably order that. Adventure Man number 5. As you can see, I got a check mark by that. I'll get it. As you know, I've not been a big fan of Adventure Man, but this is the last issue of the story arc, so I'll get it for completion's sake for the arc anyway. Dotson does nice artwork. I just don't think Fraction really has much of a story there. That's the biggest problem I've had with that book, but you know, it is what it is. I decided, people have been telling me I should try Luther Strode. It just so happens that they have a 544-page complete trade paperback for all the series for $30. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and try that and get the whole series. And that's on page 59. Right next to on page 58, of course, is Jules Verne's Lighthouse trade paperback that collects the series that I've been reviewing lately. If you've liked what you've seen there and haven't been able to find the solo issues, now's the time to pre-order the trade paperback. I've also been told I need to be checking out Noctera, even though I can't stand Scott Snyder. So I'm going to go ahead and get the first one because it's only $10 for collecting the first 5 issues, or 6 issues, I think. 6 issues. But listen to this. It's been 10 years since Val Riggs saw the sun swallowed up by the darkness. 10 years since nearly everyone she knew was infected and changed into hideous shades. Okay, I have a question. Here on Earth, we determine our sense of time by the movement of the sun. And it's our rotation around the sun. Now, if the sun is swallowed and it's all a perpetual set of darkness, how do you tell time? How do you tell days gone by, years gone by? Screw you, Scott Snyder, you're wrong. It's not 10 years. It's, you know, I'd rather say that I've lost track of time because that's logical to me. But, yeah, if they want to say it's been 10 years, fine, whatever. But it just seems silly. You know, and don't say you can tell by a clock because, well, we have different time zones by clocks. And clocks runs on batteries, and batteries die. How do you keep everything in track and in sync to know what day or time it is? You tell by the sun. If the sun's swallowed, you have no sense of time. Okay. So again, I'll get it, but I'm expecting it to be, well, not very well thought out. Next book is Ultra Mega by James Herron, Volume 1, trade paperback. People have been telling me I got to check that out. So I'll go ahead and do that and get that trade paperback. That's a 1999 book. Let's see what else we got. 79. Okay. Jump forward a bunch of books. apparently there's a big backlist deep dive for Stray Bullets. So if you haven't picked that up before, you might want to talk to your retailer about getting that stuff. It is a classic independent series. Let's see. Did I miss something? Apparently I did. 73. Deep Beyond number 8. So I'm getting that because it's the last issue. Okay. So that's pretty much my Image purchases and notices. Dark Horse has the cover this month with May's book, which, ironically enough, if you read the beginning of the book, previews tells you it's from Image. Oh, and Sea Stars, the series finale is also coming out, which, as you know, I'm not been a big fan of that series, so I will get it just to have the complete run of the books, but it's kind of like about time that series ended. That's my feeling on that. I hate to say that about anybody's books, but it is what it is. Okay, May's book. It's about a father whose daughter has disappeared or seemingly dead, only he finds out that she might be alive and he has to go through a maze to get to her. So, kind of a cool concept. Hopefully, this will be, it's supposed to be 1 out of a 5 issue. I hope it's just a self-contained series and not something in conjunction with his Black Hammer verse or something like that. I can't. He's got way too many books out, but it sounds interesting, and that's on page 92. So you might want to check that out. Skipping all that. All of their 4 or 5 Stranger Things books that they don't need. All the Magnola stuff. 6 pages of Magnola stuff. Here we go. We got Rewild on page 110, written by Devin Grayson and drawn by Yana Adamovic. It's original full cover trade paperback from Berger Books, and it's about an engineer who meets a person who's supposed to be a fairy who's demanding that he builds a park safe for the supernatural critters in the city, basically. And then next to it is Children of the Plague. As you see, I'm getting that as well. And that's written by Robert Love of number 13 fame with, he's actually drawing that too. Okay. All right. He's writing and drawing Children of the Plague. And that's a one-shot book. And I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot. I liked number 13 when it was coming out. And now I know why I thought David Walker was writing it with him, because he's doing the lettering. Okay. Okay. Next page. Norse Mythology 2, number 404, I think that is. 406, pardon me. I'll be ordering that. And then there's Tremor Dose, which is a collection of a webcomic, which is a kind of a cool idea. Everyone dreams, but are your dreams your own? Who controls your thoughts when we're sleeping? Jin is a young college student who has been having wildly disturbing nightmares featuring a man she has never met. But when she finds a flyer with the man's picture and the question, "Have you dreamed this man?" she submits to an interview that begins to unravel her perceptions of reality. I'm thinking, that sounds interesting. So I'm going to get that one. Let's see. Of course, Beasts of Burden. If you haven't been getting the Occupied Territory singles, the trade's available over here. And right next to it is Garbage Man. That is Aaron Lopresti. You guys know I always mention Aaron, and if you follow me around the internet, you probably see me over on his YouTube channel talking up things. And that's his creator-owned series that was originally at DC. DC gave him back the rights to the character, and so Dark Horse is reprinting that storyline with 22 pages of material in it because, well, since it was originally published at DC, Batman was in it. Obviously, you can't reprint it with Batman in it, so we had to redraw the pages that featured Batman. And he, instead of having Batman, he's introducing some of his other characters, a superhero team that he's had for decades. I don't want to give you too much more information on that and spoil it for you, but it's worth the price of admission to get that, even if you got the DC version. Let's see what else we got. I think that's pretty much our Dark Horse conversation. It is. That takes us to IDW next. Okay, our first two books of interest to me, anyway, are Bermuda number 3 of 4 and Canto 3, Lighthearted number 3 of 6. Bermuda, I'm mostly getting just because it's Nick Bradshaw, and it's him doing his own thing instead of doing Marvel characters or something. But I like Bradshaw's art. John Lehman's usually a pretty decent writer, so it should be pretty good. I'm waiting for issue 1 to come out, though. And of course, Canto. I've been promoting Canto for ages, so it's just more of the same there. Chained to the Grave, the collection edition, is there as well. That's on page 134. I've been promoting that series, reviewing it. It's not too bad. Might be worth your time to pick that up, or at least check it out. Anytime Jackson is appearing in Star Wars, you should get a Jackson. Because after all, it is Bucky O'Hare in the Star Wars universe. But the main thing I was checking out was Secret Passages. It's a collection, original autobiographical comic about Excel Lenore. I don't know if you remember the book I reviewed by her. I can't remember the name of the title right now, but it was like, what if we were something else? Or what if we were, I think is what the name of it was. But this is about her youth, and this is how she describes it in the solicits. Ever since my cosmic twin disappeared, nothing makes sense anymore. Friends, work, life, well, you get the picture. For all of 5 minutes, I thought therapy might be the answer, but then I remembered I'm a cartoonist. Why waste a skilled professional's time when I could just spend 10 years of my life making an autobiographical comic and call it a voyage of self-discovery? So here it is, the opening chapter of my life. It's 1985 in a small Quebec town called Notre Dame du Lac. We're going to get to know a little girl who enjoys chatting with the Force. That's me. A younger brother with demonic tendencies, a tyrannical older brother, and 2 marvelous parents who may or may not be aliens. And please take my advice, dear reader. If you ever find yourself in the middle of an existential crisis, don't make a comic about it. Get therapy instead. Much love. I'm like, yeah. I just got to see what this is going to turn out to be. So I'm going to get that. And of course, we always get the Usagi books from IDW, the Usagi Yojimbos. So that would be number 22. and the Dragon Bellow Conspiracy #4. So that was my IDWs this week, this catalog. Boom is next, I believe, for me. I don't read Dynamite stuff as a rule. I did notice, for those of you who are Firefly fans out there, they are telling the story of Simon and River and how he broke her out of the lab, but they never really told in the TV series as a series, which I think is interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. I haven't bought any of the Firefly comics before. It's also written by David S. Brewer. That's the guy who writes Kanto. Given that he's a writer and I've enjoyed the Kanto series, I feel pretty confident in recommending that series. And I guess it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be a one shot or not, but it's 40 pages for $7.99. So that'll be interesting. I might take a look at it. I don't know if I'll pre-order it because, like I said, I haven't bought any of the Firefly comics before, but I'll probably at least take a look at it when it comes in. Let's see what else. I think okay. The last issue of Eve, 5 of 5, is coming out this catalog, so go ahead and order that if you have been following that. That should be a pretty decent final issue, I hope. And that's pretty much my Boom orders, which means you go into the regular full catalog, I guess. On Aftershock on page 244, we have Almost American, #1. Let me get to that. Whoops. It's written by Ron Mars with art by Marco Castillo. It's about Russian intelligence operatives who went to. Yeah. Did I get the new Usagi this week? I think I did. That would be Dragon Bellow #1. Yeah. I got it. This is basically based on the real life story of 2 Russian intelligence agents who went to, I think it's Puerto Rico, but they're kind of caught between the CIA and the FBI, and the Russian operatives all wanting them. So, and they're trying to get their American citizenship for trading in Russian secrets, basically. Like I said, this happened in 2008, so it should be interesting to see what that is. That would be Janosh and Victoria Newman's story. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was kind of interesting. So I thought maybe I'd get into that. Oh, I better make note of something. I missed a book when I was going through here, Clans of Bellari. So I got to write that into my catalog, but no problem. Out of Body #4. So there's kind of Clans of Bellari is science fiction. It hasn't come out yet. This is soliciting #3 and #1 hasn't come out with. And Out of Body by Peter Milligan and Anaki Miranda, I did review #1, and they're soliciting #4. So It's more or less just waiting to see what's what with that. And that's pretty much it from Aftershock. Let's see. Gotta go all the way to that? Okay. Just keep flipping books. Went too far. I've reviewed this before, but the bottom of page 294, resolicited. There we go. It's a complete Wraith graphic novella. That's worth getting, but it is a relist, so I don't know how many copies are actually available and how good Diamond will be able to fulfill the orders. But it does collect every Wraith story, so that's a cool collection. Let's see. 312. From Farrar, Straus, and Giroux, we got All My Friends, and of course, All Summer Long, which I already reviewed All Summer Long. All Summer Long is the first book, and All My Friends is apparently the third book. I wish they'd solicited the second. I don't have the second book, but I'm getting the third book, at least. So I at least have 2 out of the 3. It's about a 13-year-old girl who is into music and playing guitar and stuff like that, and she gets a band together and dealing with her former, well, I don't know, best friend, but they have feelings for each other. Are they going to be boyfriend, girlfriend or not type thing going on as well. So kind of an interesting storyline. That's by Hope Larson. I like I said, I enjoyed All Summer Long, so I'll go ahead and get All My Friends as well. 318, there is City of Dragons Volume 1. The Awakening Storm. That's from Scholastic. Graphics Scholastic by Jamal Yogis and Vivian Trong. And I'm going to get the soft cover for $12.99 as opposed to the hardcover for $25, but it looks interesting to me. When Grace moves to Hong Kong with her mom and stepfather, her biggest concern is making friends at her fancy new boarding school. That being said, a mysterious young woman, or old woman rather, gives her a dragon egg, which comes to life, and now she has this pet dragon that she's got to protect that has mystical powers, and then there's evil forces after her, and she has to make friends to help her protect the dragon. I thought that was kind of neat. Might be a cool all ages read. Of course, there's Heavy Metal Magazine, number 310 comes out. That's on page 320. I don't know if anyone will be interested in this or not, but Humanoid is putting out a storyline about Bela Lugosi. So that might be of interest to some people who are interested in classic 30s to 50s Hollywood movie monsters and stuff like that. Might be of some interest to you. And that's on page 326 of the catalog. There's also a recommendation for a graphic novel about Rod Serling in the Twilight Zone as well, mentioned on that same page. There's a Diamond Code as a back order. 331 has the Strange Attractors 3 covers edition. And I'll be getting all of them because I actually like all 3 covers. But normally I just get the Cullen cover, which is the main back reprint cover, so to speak. But I happen to like all 3 covers this particular month, so I'll go ahead and get all 3 of them. Let's see. Mad Cave has The Bountiful Garden, which is about a bunch of teenagers in the year 2200, I think it is. Yeah, 2200, where they are stuck on a planet that somehow stopped their trans ship that's supposed to go to another planet, and they're trying to figure out why and how it's affecting their minds and stuff like that. So I think it might have kind of an influence from the classic science fiction series Night Flyers. It reminds me of that. So if you remember that story, science from George R.R. Martin's Night Flyers, which was recently done as a miniseries on Sci-Fi Channel, that's what this kind of reminds me of, and I thought I might check that out and order that. Myriad Editions on page 340 has a book from Zach Slattery called Coma. And it's about the person existing in the coma, more or less, and and it's described as a living nightmare you can't wake up from, basically. But it's basically his diary of what he remembers or not remembers, and then what the nurses who were tending to them and all stuff like that. It looks like a pretty cool, interesting storyline for a 15-day drug-induced coma. So that ought to be interesting to read. So I'm going to check that out. Order that. Let's see. This is one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. Penguin Workshop has a book called All of the Marvels on page 352. A Journey to the Ends of the Biggest Story Ever Told by Douglas Wolk. He goes, the Marvel Comics, published since 1961, are the longest continuous self-contained work of fiction ever created. Wrong. First off, they're not self-contained. They've been rebooted several times. Numerous titles have been canceled and reborn, so that they're not continuous in that respect. Secondly, DC kicks their ass by about 30 years. I think Batman and Superman predated Marvel by about 30 years, kids. Yeah. If not, at least, the 60s Marvel characters anyway. 20 to 30 years. So that whole solicitation made me laugh. For that reason alone, I wouldn't even consider getting it. But I thought that was funny. Worth mentioning the falseness of the solicitation, if anything else. Let's see what else we got here. Scout Comics, page 360. Canopus, which I have reviewed in the past, is collected in trade paperback. I cannot do anything but recommend that. That was a good series. That was a very enjoyable series. On the next page, 361, Impossible Jones, which I had bought on the Kickstarter crowdfunding market, is being reprinted through Scout. And I guess there's going to be additional pages that weren't in the Kickstarter format to the story. So if you haven't bought it through the Kickstarter, you can order it starting with issue number 1 through Scout. And then I have a collection of a book called Impure, which was originally solicited in singles. I decided to wait and get it in trade, so it came out in trade, so I'm going to get that. Midnight Sky is right next to it. I've been reviewing that, of course, regularly. This is trade volume 1. I don't know if they're going to continue it or not. It's worth it, I guess, because they're only charging $25 for it. That's 8 issues worth of story for $25. That's $3 a book. It was $3.99 per issue, so you're saving money to get it through the trade, if nothing else. So that's a possible consideration if you were thinking about it. Red Shift number 3 also comes out from Scout on page 362. I'll be getting that. And I got the Soulstream one-shot preview from Scout, and they're soliciting the graphic novel this time as well. So that's an all-ages storyline about a girl who gets a magic bracelet and has to defend Earth and other dimensions as well. So that might be worth your time to consider looking for that as well. Now, I don't know if I recommend this one, but I saw it and I thought it was kind of silly. Cute, but silly. Simon & Schuster books for young readers on 366. Barb the Last Berserker, Volume 1, by Dan Abdo and Jason Patterson. Barb is a berserker, one of a group of warriors sworn to protect the land of Ballywack from the scourge of monsters that plagues it. But the fearsome crew seem to have met their match in nefarious Witch Head. Using the power from his magical sword, he tricked the Zerks and took them captive. Only Barb was able to escape, and she took Witch Head's shadow blade with her. Now it's up to Barb to free her fellow warriors so that they can stop Witch Head from taking over Ballywack. Or Ballywick, rather. On the way, she'll battle vampire goat fiends, snot goblins, and a giant with serious foot odor issues. But don't mention that to him because he's very sensitive about it. Luckily, she's got her best friend, Pork Chop the Yeti, to help her out. And there's the artwork for it. You can see it's very cartoony type stuff. But, for fans of Rick and Morty or, Steven Universe or something like that, that might be something worth consideration. Okay. Zoom forward. There's some more stuff over here. Through Vault Comics, they have a new all-ages line, I guess you could say, called Wonderbound. And they got 4 books. I'm going to definitely order one of them. The other 3 I'm kind of about. But the one I'm going to get is Verse Book 1, The Broken Half. That's about a kid who meets kind of a magical fairy princess who can use magic, and magic is supposed to be non-existent in their world. So, what's going on? The Rassel Castle, Volume 1, basically a female girl wants to, female girl, yes, young female rather, um, has to go into a wrestling tournament to help her brother, who because her brother's been put in jail, and she has to win the wrestling tournament to free him. That's basically what that's about. The Unfinished Corner is about um, Jewish mythology, and I guess there's a corner in the universe that Jesus or God made that's unfinished in Jewish mythology, and this young teenager and her friends have to go finish that design, create that last corner, and then hello, my name is Poop. Yeah, that one's about a kid named Poupe, which is a heck of a name. I don't know. But of course, he's being bullied by everybody else and being called Poop. And he meets a wizard who is disguised as the school janitor and says, "You have abilities." And so now he can basically do crazy stuff with his poop or whatever. And, um, you know, is he going to be a bully to them now or something? I guess I don't know. That's about the only one that really I'm certainly interested in is Verse, but maybe the Unfinished Corner. But the other two, I'm not so sure about. Let's see. And for those of you who are fans of eerie or creepy or that old classic Warren type comics, the horror books, there is a new comic coming out, Shudder Magazine, #1 from Warrant Publishing Company on page 402. And they're trying to replicate the 60s and 70s Warren type magazines. It's 52 pages for $6. And I'm going to try and get that and see what that's about. Because they're saying they're going to hire some of the classic guys who worked on that. And I'm like, how can you do that? Most of them are dead, but let's see what they're going to come up with. And that is pretty much what I found in previews this month. Quite a bit of stuff. But time to get to the live draw part, which I'm sure you're all interested in. And if you remember, we were doing Batgirl. And I will be turning off the camera for just a second. Still here. Just got to move the camera to a different angle. Let's see what we got here. All right. Don't need that in there. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and just get this completely finished off today. However long it takes me to get it done. Pop Culture says he'll order that also. I'm presuming he's talking about that Shudder magazine, which is cool. I'm using a almond skin tone, according to this pencil. It says light almond. I don't know if you guys can read that or not. It's not. Can you barely make it out? But that's light almond. Can barely make it out, right? Okay, you're gonna go walk the dogs. All right. I'm putting a colorless blender over the colored pencil here, marker. Normally, I would not, but this pencil is so light. By putting the colorless blender on there, it actually darkens it up enough that you can tell it's there. And I'll probably put another layer or two of skin color on here to give it a little more nuance as well. Let's see. Nope, that's too dark. Got a lot of skin tone colors here. I'm trying to see what I can do with them. This is what we call a very light rose, apparently. And it is darkening up some. But I want to color it with the side of the pencil, not the tip. Get more of a that's better. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Lighting on this is a little bit weird, but you really can't tell it's there. um, so you guys can get a little better. You can see a little bit more of the tone now. I can get it to sharpen up, but it's not really sharpening, unfortunately, the picture of the camera. But I assure you it is there. It's got to be very those away. Get rid of magenta. Hmm. And a shade of red here, so I'm going to come back to the hair. But I want to get the eyes. Purple eyeshadow over the eyes. I'm going to sit this down for just a moment while I get some more red. Don't know if you guys can hear that electric pencil sharpener or not from all the way over there, but think that pretty much does it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign this one off. As far as screen artwork here. And that will do it for this episode, pretty much. Tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. I'll go ahead and let you guys see this again a little bit more. So move this up a little bit. There we go. There, the whole scene better. Alrighty, that will be scanned and put up available tomorrow night. We will talk about John Mellencamp, It's All About You documentary, Hard Rock Treasures, behind the scenes look at rock and roll royalty and their most prized possessions, which really isn't what it's about. It's about how the Hard Rock Cafe organization gets their donated items, the clothes and the guitars and the instruments from the rock people. And then Susan Tedeschi, live from Austin, Texas. We're reviewing these 3 videos and some other stuff as well, as our theme will be rock and roll music. So that'll be tomorrow, 9 p.m. And I will go ahead and move this over here back. You didn't need that close up look at me, did you? My ugly mug. Put the glasses back on. That's better. But that pretty much resolves today's episode. So, if you have any questions or anything like that before I sign off for today, let me know. In the meantime, you can order a copy of Wingman, the Art of Louis Brightwing, Volume 1 from Constellation Studios. That's my studio group. Art and historical textbook on my career from around 86 to 2011. 48 pages black and white. Here's another actual copy of the book. You can get a sketch inside like this one if you want. Here's some of the artwork from my early days, going back to the 80s with the ram head, dragons, to college when I was inking other people. more inking of other people, and then people inking me. This is one of my characters over on the right side of the page. This one right here. Actually, both of the characters in this set of mine, but some fancy art. If you haven't seen it before, again, this is 15 with shipping and handling, or 25 if you want to sketch like that Deadpool head sketch in there, or another character of your choosing. How you order that is go to PayPal, quote the Raven LBR72 at gmail.com, subject Wingman Book. And if you want it just regular signed edition, it's 15, it's $9.95 plus shipping and handling. A personalized sketch. It's actually $9.95, it's $20. It's $10 shipping and handling, unfortunately, because the prices have gone up for shipping. But anyway, it's 20 for just signed and 25 for sketch. And I'll also do your sketch on live on the show if you like. If you want to ask me other questions or have a topic that you want me to discuss or something like that, you can reach me at lewis.brightraven on Facebook, at Twitter at lewisbrightrave2. You can see some of my other artwork at deviantart.com/brightraven. You're watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brightraven on YouTube and Facebook. And if you want to watch back episodes of the show, you can go to YouTube at Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brightraven. Email me questions at lewisbrightraven's Quoth the Raven LBR72 rather, at gmail.com. And if I don't answer your question through that address, then try lewisbrightraven at yahoo.com. Mondays, we do comics news and reviews. Wednesdays, we do what you get this week. Thursdays is usually 9 p.m. roundtable talk where I have guests. This week, I just ran the show early and did the previews discussion and finished up that live draw piece. Friday nights is our genre night, usually a different genre every week. Sometimes guests, sometimes not. Again, rock and roll videos and music and other stuff is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And that'll be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Saturdays is our live draw, and that'll probably be I'll probably end up drawing Captain America's. I mean, it's 4th of July week, it makes sense. But if I don't draw that one, we'll figure out something else. But that'll be on Saturday and probably Sunday as well, depending on what's going on with weekend being holiday weekend. I don't know yet, but I'll be on at least Saturday. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.